So you want to set up a homepage in Obsidian, but you're intimidated by all the crazy dashboards that you see people setting up on YouTube. This video is for you because I'm going to show you my simple homepage and a couple of really easy things you can set up to get right into your notes super fast. Let's dive into it. So now we are in Obsidian and I'm going to give you a quick tour of my homepage, which we are looking at right here. And it's a pretty simple setup. There's not a lot going on here, and that's kind of purposeful. Like I want this to be a simple place for me to land and jump right into my notes without a whole lot of bells and whistles. So at the top of the homepage, you see this link for today's daily note. And that is so that I can click this and it will open or create today's daily note. Just like if I was using the calendar plugin or running the command from the command palette. It's just kind of a convenience, and it's super great on mobile because you can just tap it and it will open the daily note right from the home page. So that uses a kind of a special kind of thing that I'll show you later that it requires a certain plugin, but we'll talk about it in a moment. Underneath that, we have a little call out, which is basically just a special way to format things. And it creates this sort of indented black and white, and it twirls down into this. And the black and white and the colors is really based on the theme that I have installed. So that might not look the same for you, but it's you'll have a similar sort of like indented box that you can then twirl up and down. And having the minus sign after the call out syntax here means that by default it's collapsed. So I don't have to see them in front of me, but when I want to see them, I can open it up. Kind of nice. You can do that with headings, but you can't set headings to be, at least to my knowledge, you can't set headings to be collapsed by default. That's why I use a call out here so I can quickly do that. And then underneath that heading in the call out is a database of daily notes that shows me my daily notes that I have not yet reviewed, which I kind of cover that workflow in my daily notes video, which you can check out. I'll link it in the description. And actually, this video is a response to some comments on that video where people wanted to see how I set this up. So I will walk you through how I set up this database and this view that lets me see this on my homepage in just a moment. Underneath the daily notes, I have a section for goals and for projects, which also have databases that show me my goals currently and my projects. Those are collapsed for reasons. And under that is areas. And this is just links to notes that link to useful reference information and stuff that I'm working on in these different areas of my life. And so for instance, I can click on hobbies and you can see a bunch of things. I just literally have kind of subcategory pages that are in there. And then I can go back up to the home page. Slightly new approach to my vault, but I'm liking it right now. It's doing a lot for me. So that's in there under areas. And then finally resources, which right now the only thing I have under there is databases, which is another database that displays all my databases. Another useful utility to have because I can just show them here. And some of the ones that I have are my content that I work on. I have like a workflow with that. I'll probably do a video on that soon. My daily notes, I have the people database that's just notes on people and like recipes, quotes, other stuff like that that I just have in here as a quick way to jump into them. I still have some optimization I want to do with that, but in general, these are the things on my homepage. It's not a lot. It's not a lot of bells and whistles or crazy stuff, just some links and databases. And it does the trick for me because I want to get in there and jump into my notes, and the homepage is not intended, like I'm not looking for some advanced analytics on my life. I just need to take notes. So how do we do these things? We're going to start with the daily notes database. And this is almost kind of a mini tutorial on databases as well, because we're going to set it up and we're going to do it literally from scratch. We're going to create a new database, and you'll notice that every single note in the vault gets pulled in by default. It's a ton of stuff, right? So the first thing we have to do is narrow down what are we actually looking at. And that we're going to do by going to the filter section. And you're going to start under all views because this is going to set the top level filter for the database, and it will influence all the other views nested on, underneath the database. So we need to first figure out how to get this database to only look at the daily notes, which are held inside this folder called journal. Under the year folder, you can see there's all my daily notes. So we're going to start with that. And it's very easy, actually. Under all views, you're going to put your first rule as the file path contains, and then the name of the folder for your daily notes. So in this case, I'm going to do journal, and I'm just going to leave it at that for simplicity. And then you're going to see that it's filtered some things out. You can see it's mostly daily notes, but it's not only daily notes, because if I scroll down a little bit more, you're going to see I have weekly notes, and then there's some logs that I have in here, but not what I want to see in this database. So we need to add to the filter. Pretty easy. We're just going to add a second rule. And the reason this rule is going to work is because of the way I've set up my daily note template, which again, you can see in my daily note video, but I'll show it here for clarity, which is here's my daily note template. The key thing here are these two metadata fields at the top. The first one is tags, and this is what's going to drive our database filtering, which is this tag daily note. So every single daily note, when I create it, automatically gets this tag for daily note. And that's how we're going to filter it down. Notice also this reviewed field, which is going to come up next. Back in our database, we now need to add the second rule to our global filter, which is we're going to look at the tags on the file, and we're going to say contains. I strongly recommend that you, whenever you're using tags, you change to contains, because if it is exactly, it's only going to find notes that are only tagged with that tag. So by the nature of tags, you probably want to use contains most of the time when you're filtering by tag. And then we're going to put daily note, and you're going to see, can't really tell, but if you scroll, you're going to notice that those weekly notes and the other things are gone. We're only looking at daily notes now. Okay, we're like 80% of the way there, but the list on my homepage is not this long. If you look back, it's only a few notes, and that's because I'm only looking at notes that don't have the reviewed checkbox checked. So that is going to be something we set up under the view filters, because theoretically, I could want other views to see the notes that are checked based on date or other things that I might want to look for. I don't have those set up yet, but at some point I might, and I want to make sure that this filter only applies to this view so I can do that. So what we're going to do is very similar to what we did up here in the global filter. We're simply going to find that reviewed property. We're going to put it here. Now you're going to notice that by default, it's this is not checked. That you might think, oh, that's exactly what I want. It's not, and I'm going to show you why. When you look at this property for reviewed, you're going to notice there's an empty box and a line through it. That's not the same as an empty box. What that is showing you is a null field. There's no data in that field. That's actually different than an unchecked box. Watch what happens if I open an actual daily note. If I uncheck the checked box, notice it's different. It's just a empty box now. There's no line through it. And that's because this is now a false value, not a null value. Those are two different things when it comes to how a computer sees data. And so when you're doing your database and your filter, you want to make sure that when you set up this reviewed checkbox, if you want to see all the values that aren't checked, you need to actually kind of go in reverse and say is not checked. And now you're going to see that the list's a lot shorter. But I still don't see the checkboxes, so we have to add them in. And that's actually really easy. You're just going to come to the properties button up here, and you're going to find that reviewed and check it. And then you see reviewed is there. Now notice that here's an even better way to see that. You can see all of these guys below here from the 9th on are null because I haven't looked at them and checked it yet. But this one I checked and unchecked, which that could happen if you like accidentally checked it. So I want to include both of those in this list. I want to see anything that I've left unchecked. So the nice thing is I can also interact with the fields in this database, which on the home page, I can literally look at this and I can check it right from here and fix what I just did. So that's kind of the nice utility of this is I can quickly kind of jump into the notes. I can check them off. If I know there's not much in there, I can just check them off right from the home page. So that's kind of nice. Now you're going to notice that in my actual daily notes, I also put the created time. There's only one reason I did that, and it has nothing to do with the functionality of the database. It's purely aesthetic, and it has to do with pushing the checkbox to the left so that it's closer to the title. If I were to embed the database that we just created at the top here, you're going to see that this guy does some weird things. When it comes to going to the left, there's only so far you get because it kind of automatically justifies where the box is. So if I want this to be way over to the left and closer to where the note title is, I have to add in something else to kind of pad the space. And that's really all the created time field is doing in the database. So I'll show you that here. If I add in the file created time, you can see now it kind of pushes it, and you can adjust it if you want. But now if I go and look at the home page where that's embedded, it pushes that checkbox over to the left, which is just a preference thing. And I don't I'm not looking at the created time for any reason. It's literally just there to pad the space. So that explains that, but you don't have to feel like you have to do that just because I did. But that's how you create that database. And so we just duplicated that in just a few minutes with me going relatively slow and explaining it. So it doesn't take long to set up, and then you end up with this guy. So very kind of simple, useful thing if you're using daily notes. And if you want to see how it all folds together in a workflow, check out my daily notes video. I'll link it in the description for you. Now, that basic approach with embedding the database is basically the same for each of these headings here for goals, projects, and the database is under the resource. It's just a database that I've set up to show the thing that I want to show, and then it's embedded right underneath. And that allows me to quickly kind of see them. That's really all it is a bunch of databases on my page. Now, the final component is this daily note link. And this is a little bit more advanced, but actually stupidly easy. And it uses a plugin that I didn't really understand very well until recently. It's called Advanced URI. And what this does is it basically allows you to use commands that can make Obsidian do stuff. And people who are way smarter than me and can do a lot more like development stuff will use it for other things. And it also kind of helps enable some advanced functionality with other plugins. So it's a good one to have around. But all it does in this case, the only reason I have it is so that this link works, which you'll notice it has this kind of weird syntax. It almost looks like a URL for an address bar. It's a very simple syntax. You'll see that it's just that Obsidian : / and then there's this advanced -URI question mark, which I think starts a query. I don't know exactly the syntax, but I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here. And then it says daily equals true. So doesn't really matter what that means. What matters is that when I click this, it opens my daily note. And like I said before, a big part of the utility of that is for mobile, because it's pretty easy on desktop to have a hotkey that does the same thing, or to open command palette and type daily. There's a few more options, but on mobile, it's like you've got a lot less screen space and you're stuck with tapping. So having that link is kind of a subtle but really helpful thing to put on the homepage. So I like having it there because, again, it's meant to be I land here and I get started, which first thing in the morning or whenever I sit down at my desk to start working on something and I want to open my daily note, I literally just go into my Obsidian and I click this button and it goes. So that's it. And really, that's my homepage. Like, that's all I got. I don't have any crazy dashboards or advanced analytics on my life. I don't have fancy display or styling. It's just, a couple sections with information and links that I can just jump into and get started. So, and that works for me. It's simple. And hopefully if you're looking for something simple, this will be helpful to you. I want to hear about how you're using your homepage. Let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you the next time.